Hello everyone and welcome back to mathMinutes. In this video, we're going to expand on rounding and explore how to round to different numbers of decimal places as well as significant figures. If you haven't had a chance to watch our video on the basics of rounding, you might want to click here and view that first. Otherwise, let's begin. From the video on rounding numbers, you should have a clear understanding of rounding and how useful it can be. If you recall, in the rounding process, we consider three key points. When rounding, we need to decide on whether to round up or to round down. Think of this as the rounding decision, and how we proceed depends on the rounding digit. To determine the rounding digit, we look to the digit immediately to the right of the desired or target place value. If this digit is 5 or greater, we round up. If it's 4 or less, we round down. Now let's define the desired or target place value. It is the place value to which we wish to round the number. For example, rounding to the nearest whole number means the target place value is the ones place, while rounding to the nearest tenth means the target place value is in the tenths place. When rounding to a certain number of decimal places, we examine the digit to the right of the last digit that we want to keep. So, for example, if we round to 2 decimal places, the last digit that we want to keep, or the target place value, is in the second digit to the right of the decimal point, in the hundredths place, and the rounding digit is to the right of this, in the thousandths place. If this rounding digit is 5 or more, we round up. If it's 4 or less, then we round down. Let's look at the number 5.3692 and round this to 2 decimal places. The rounding digit is 9, which is more than 5, so we round up. This means that the target place value increases by 1 and our number rounds up to 5.37. Remember, there are no digits after the desired place value that we want to keep, not even zeros. Now, let's round 5.3692 again, but this time we'll round to 3 decimal places. The last digit that we want to keep is in the thousandths place in this example, and the rounding digit is to the right of this in the 10,000ths place. We see that the rounding digit is 2 this time, and since this is less than 5, we round down. This means that the target place value stays the same, and the number rounds down to 5.369. Okay, great. Now let's tackle rounding to a certain number of significant figures. The method of this is very similar as that for decimal places, but a key point to note is that it can be more difficult to identify the target place value. Let's look at an example to better understand what we mean. Let's round the number 0.0070361 to one significant figure. First, we must identify the place value that will be the last digit that we keep. One common mistake in doing so might be to think of the first 0 before the decimal point as the first significant figure because of all the digits that follow, but that's incorrect. The first significant figure is the first digit in our number that isn't 0. So in this case, the first significant figure is the 7. Once we've identified the first significant figure, all other digits that follow are significant figures, including any zeros. As we're rounding the number to one significant figure, the last digit that we keep is the first significant figure, and so the rounding digit is to the right of this and is the second significant figure, which is the 0. Since 0 is smaller than 5, we round the number down. So the target place value stays the same, and the number rounds down to 0.007. Let's now consider rounding the number 0.0070361 to 3 significant figures. As before, the first significant figure is 7, so our target place value will be the third significant figure, which is 3. The rounding digit is to the right of this, and we see that 6 is greater than 5, so our number rounds up. The target place value increases by 1, and the number rounds up to 0.00704. Now that we have some understanding of rounding to significant figures, let's consider a slightly different example. Let's round the number 834,972 to 2 significant figures. It's clear to see in this example that the first significant figure is the first digit, so the target place value is the second significant figure, which is the 3. Remember, the rounding digit is to the right of this, which is the 4 in the thousand place. Since 4 is less than 5, our number rounds down. This means that the target place value stays the same and the number rounds down to 830,000. We can see from this example that after we round the target place value, all other digits that follow up to the decimal point become zeros. Now let's round the same number, 834,972, to 3 significant figures. The target place value is the third digit, which is the 4 in the thousand place. The rounding digit is to the right, the 9 in the hundreds place. Since 9 is greater than 5, our number rounds up. The target place value increases by 1 and the number rounds up to 835,000. Let's try and round the number to 4 significant figures now. The target place value is the 4th digit in the number, which is the 9 in the hundreds place, and the rounding digit is the 7 in the tens place. 7 is greater than 5, so the number rounds up and the target place value increases by 1. But hold on, the place value is a 9, so this means that we need to turn it into a 0 and increase the next digit by 1. So the 4 increases to 5 and our number rounds up to 835,000. By now, we should have a good understanding of rounding to a number of decimal places and significant figures. Let's look at estimating calculations next. Let's estimate 127.5 times 4.73 divided by 2.38 times 5.16 by rounding each number to one significant figure. We work out the calculation in stages. So first, we round each number, which gives us 100 times 5 divided by 2 times 5. This equals 500 divided by 10, which is equal to 50. The actual value of the calculation is 49.1071 and continuing, so we can see that we have achieved a good estimate of this value. And that's all for this video. If you have any questions or want to see more videos like this, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more math content. Until next time, happy rounding!